So I just wanted to take a few moments and update you on where we are as a church with regards to resuming in-person worship. As you're aware, this past Monday, the governor issued some guidelines related to places of worship and being able to resume in-person worship. Our bishop has also sent out some guidance for churches. And so our task force has been meeting and will continue to meet over the next several days, along with some other church leaders to make some decisions. And so I hope that by uh, sometime next week, we'll be able to issue some, an update the congregation, the church on when we'll be resuming in-person worship and kind of what that'll look like. And I want to be also just share with you that uh, this process has been a challenge, and there's a lot of information going into it, and um, it's enough to make you want to pull your hair out if you've got hair. But it's easy to get intimidated by it, and I will say that over these last few weeks, as we've been talking about how we might reopen. I've had some moments where I've felt a bit intimidated by the situation. And intimidation is really all it is to be frightened or overawed by a situation or a person. And I think that we've perhaps all over these last few weeks have at some point felt maybe ill equipped to handle a challenge that we faced because of this pandemic. But in a like manner, I think we often also feel that way, even in more typical times when we talk about spiritual gifts. People will sometimes say, I don't know what my spiritual gift is, or I don't know that I have anything that I can offer. And I think sometimes we think that spiritual gifts are just for pastors or missionaries or some other type of uber Christian. But that's really just a limiting belief. And it's just an example about how sometimes we can become intimidated by our self-doubt. Um, and so we're going to be talking about the topic of intimidation this week as we continue our series, Fear Factor, Overcoming the Power of Fear in Our Lives. And I'm looking forward to sharing especially with you the story of an ordinary man who's done some extraordinary things by the name of Tom Katina, and about how he could have easily been intimidated and probably was at many times over the course of his life. Yet he allowed his desire to do the work of God to overcome any fear or intimidation that he might have had. So I hope you'll join me in worship this Sunday at 10 o'clock on our online platform, on Facebook or on YouTube. And join us for worship as we seek to overcome the power of fear in our lives. I'll see you in line.